Have you ever been one of those people who wish they could look young forever? No gray or white hair, crow's feet or wrinkles, things staying in place where they're supposed to be and not submit to gravity. Alec is one of those people. He decided to research ways to stay youthful, including natural and medical methods. Things he had tried and knew wouldn't work. Then something interesting popped up during his searches from an occult website. It was titled, Wishing for Eternal Youth. Eternal youth? Alec wanted to look young forever, but eternal youth sounded even better. Being a gentleman in his early 40s, he still wanted to look attractive. Curious, he goes to the location provided, which turns out to be a graffitied food truck set up on a bunch of cinder blocks. A dim light is on inside and a cloud of white smoke drifts out. A strong smell fills the air, making Alec cover his nose. "You must be the guy," a man cooking on the grill says over his shoulder without turning around. "I'll be done shortly, so have a seat." Alec looks around, spotting 2 wooden picnic tables and sitting at one of them. The area is pretty empty except for the food truck, 2 tables and a beaten-up blue truck. Surrounding that was a sea of trees. After a while, the man walked up to Alec and set down what he'd been cooking in front of him. "There you go. Go ahead and dig in. You want to get younger, don't you?" The man chuckled, watching Alec stare at the meat before him. It was smaller than an animal's. Alec picked up the knife and fork and dug in. When he was finished, he looked at the man who owned the food truck. "How do I know if this will work?" he asked. "It takes time, Alec. Something like this won't happen immediately. Go home, get some sleep, and when you wake up, see the results come back," the man replied. There has to be some kind of trick, Alec thought. Begrudgingly, he agreed and went on his way back home. Tomorrow morning, he'd check to see if this occult trick was worth it. Early in the morning, Alec awoke and began his day. He made his cup of coffee and then went to take a shower. He placed his cup down to wash his face before stepping into the shower and raised his head, peering into the mirror. When he saw his reflection, a surprised sound escaped his lips. He couldn't believe it. Alec, indeed, looked younger. Even the skin on his hands was smooth. They weren't extreme changes, but the traces of age were gone. By the time he was dressed, Alec had decided to see that man again, so he sent him another email. This time, he was told a different location and time. He agreed and went to meet him. It was an old apartment building and looked to have seen better days since the outside had siding barely hanging on and the grass was unkempt. Walking up the creaking staircase, he knocked on apartment number 13. There was a rustling inside. There was a sound of a click and the door opened. "Good, you came," the man smiled ear to ear. "Yes, I was wondering if there was any way I could procure another," Alec asked. The man led him further inside to a room covered in clear plastic tarps, and in the center of a table was a comatose young woman. He picked up a scalpel and turned it over, noticing Alec had gone stiff. "If I had more time, I would have prepared it for you, but I was thinking, since you were so interested in becoming young again, why not let you in on the process?" the man told him. Alec felt frozen in place. What he had eaten before was a human liver. His bottom lip trembled, and the man offered over the scalpel. "Go on. I already marked the area, so you will see where to cut. And she won't be waking up anytime soon," the man told Alec, ushering him toward the table. Was he really going to do this? Cut up an innocent woman, all for youth? Now, standing over her, he couldn't help but have a smile twitch at the corner of his mouth. "I'm sorry," he whispered before making the first cut to continue his eternal youth.